Hello lovely family and friends, a warm welcome back to my channel. I hope we are all doing well by God's grace and we've had a great Easter. Alright, so today I want to share with you the simplest Ghana cake recipe ever. I'm going to show you how you can make a soft and delicious Ghana cake without butter or margarine. Yes, it is possible and it tastes just as good. Perfect if you are cutting out dairy or just want a lighter version of this classic Ghana treat. Let's get into it and I'll show you how. So for this recipe, you need cocoa powder, which is optional, vegetable oil, some eggs, some sugar, flour. I have some baking powder, salt, vanilla extract, and evaporated milk. These are all the ingredients you need. Here, I've prepared my cake tin and my mold. Every time you're making cake, make sure these are prepared first, okay? And if you want detailed video of how I prepare my tins, just check my other Ghana video, which I will link for you. I've added the salt and baking powder to the flour, mixed it and set it aside. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put everything together. We're going to put everything together and make the cake. So all the eggs will go into your mixing bowl and you add your sugar and you begin to whisk. Okay, you can totally do this by hand, right? But then you're not going to get it as fluffy as this one. If you want to do this by hand, what I recommend is you use less flour, right? And also if you're making sponge cake, right, and you're using oil, this is where you add your oil. You mix your oil with your sugar and eggs, right, before anything, right? Yeah. So now I've added my vanilla extract and then I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. What we'll be doing is alternating the flour and the milk, right? So alternating the dry ingredient and the wet ingredient. You cannot just pour the milk in and then pour the oil in and then add the flour. You have to alternate it so that it mixes really well. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. Little flour and then some milk. So, but you make sure that you end with flour, okay? To avoid over mixing your cake batter, right? I decided not to include the oil in the alternation, okay? Alternation, cry bro for papa. Sometimes between bob brofo I overtake me. Boom! Is it correct English or I'm just making it up? But I think you're bro for papa. Okay. So as you can see, I added some oil here, but then that was when I decided that I'll add the oil at the end. So as you can see me do, I'm just, alternating the milk and the flour, little oil, little flour. But as I mentioned earlier, ensure that you end with flour so that you can give it a very good mix, especially as you're going to be adding the oil at the end. So if you've watched to this end, I believe you are liking the idea that you can make Ghana cake without margarine or butter and it's going to turn out great. So just do me a big favor and just like this video. It does go a very long way to support this channel. So please do so. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I hope you're enjoying this video, right? So I have added the oil, our ever so important ingredient for this recipe. And I've taken my time for you to see how I stir. So the stirring is gentle, right? Unlike earlier, it goes faster because I fast forwarded this video for it to go quickly, right? So, but you stir it gently, right? So that you don't overstir. So after stirring a little bit, you add your last flour to make sure the oil combines well with your butter. And that is you done. And the next thing is to pour it into your tins and bake. So I'm going to pour half here and half into the mold, the plastic mold or the silicone mold. Okay, I'll just whack it on the table to release some air bubbles, and then for the purposes of the mold I'm using, that is why I'm doing this bit, but it's not really necessary. It's optional unless you want chocolate in your cake. Then you can mix it and yet add it to your batter and use a spoon on a fork to stir it around to get a marble effect. Otherwise, it's totally optional, right? So here I'm adding 2 to 3 teaspoons of cocoa powder to mix in with some of the butter. This is cake batter, batter, Don't come for me. Don't say this is not butter. This is not butter. It's a cake mixture. Cake batter. B-A-T-T. I know what I'm talking about. Mix it really well. Trust me, you don't know what some people can tell you that you are not saying right. So let me clarify it, that I know what I'm talking about. Okay, mix it well. I'm doing this because I told you, because of the mold I have. I just want to be fancy, do something fancy with my mold. So I'm going to scoop a little bit into certain places in my mold, right? If you have a similar mold, you can make something similar, but I don't know. I got this mold from Timu, so Timu, yeah. So I got it from there, and I'm just doing this because of, it's not necessary, it's optional, because of how my mold looks like. Okay, so once I pour it in, I make sure it's in the corners that I want. I just pour the rest of the butter in, scoop it very well, scrape it very well, make sure there's nothing. You didn't see it, but trust me, I did it. Me use the misakura scrapey. So I be when I'm called Roman sana. My bet nice. You bake it in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. I'll write the Fahrenheit in the description box or somewhere on the screen for you to see, right? And make sure that it's cooked. You can insert a toothpick into the cake. When it comes out clean, then your cake is ready, okay? Otherwise, your cake is not ready. You have to be sure. Yes. And then, ta-da! We have a beautiful, lovely, moist. Oh, this cake was good. Trust me, was good. By the way, you can also adjust the sugar. You can reduce the sugar if the sugar is too much. Okay. So this is our Ghana cake. Perfect for any occasion. Amazing, lovely. And I know you're definitely going to love this. So yeah, thank you all for joining me. And I will definitely see you in the next one. Ghana for me, yeah, way specially for you. You can get all the ingredients on the Ghana market. Trust me. And you love this. Bye.